Hello and welcome to section 15 of the Grand Tour of Northumberland. Today we're walking from Ridsdale to Bellingham. We'll be looking at some old ironworks, Roman fort, Bastille and some crags. So please join us for section 15.
Digging through a closet with old CDs, past lives in boxes. Music absorbed till it seeped from my skin. Can't stand to hear it. Means more to me than photographs. Pictures of backyard and northern sunsets are all that exist in my mind. Freshly cut lawns and daytime sprinklers, spider webs on a gray wooden fence. I remember the convenience.
We're just leaving Ridsdale at the moment. In 1836, Ridsdale became a beehive of activity, and if you were to walk around the area, you'll find numerous quarries and old workings, as the place was once a large-scale ironworks. Size of this bull. We have to go in the same field as that. That's going to be fun. This here sometimes gets the nickname of Ridsdale Castle, but it wasn't a castle at all. Although it's often mistaken as a castle by those travelling along the A68, it is in fact an old engine house from the ironworks. It once housed two huge beam engines that supplied the blast for the three furnaces that once stood to the north. The iron was used to build the high-level bridge in Newcastle, but by 1848 the ironworks had closed. The place was just far too remote to be commercially viable. In 1864, two of the furnaces were dismantled and moved to the Armstrong Works in Elsick, Newcastle. We're heading towards those trees over there, where there's a secret part of Northumberland. When you get to this track, we have to head up this way into the trees. There's no path. I'll show you how to find the place. Okay, I've put a marker stone here. This stone wasn't there before. If that stone gets moved, where the V shape of the walls, that's when you head up into the trees. It took me and my daughter 4 attempts to find this place. It's pretty well hidden.
Mikey.
And this is what we've come to see. This here is Robin of Risingham, or I should say this is a half-size replica of a 4-foot-high Roman rock carving of the god Silvanus, god of hunting and woodland. We met a shrine to Silvanus on the Weardale Way at Eastgate. Not a lot remains of the original carving after the landowner who once owned this land blew it up in the 19th century because he got sick of trespassers coming to see it. These are the legs of the original statue, and that's all that remains of it, unfortunately. The site's largely forgotten now. Me and my daughter had to climb down those rocks over there to find it. However, there is another carving elsewhere in Northumberland that we'll be visiting towards the end of the Grand Tour. So again, it's where that V is, in that field. And as I said, I've put a marker stone down there, but I don't know how long that will last. If someone sees this video, they might end up moving the marker stone. So use the field if the stone's not there. Yeah, robbing the Risingham's marked on the OS map, but trying to find it's another thing. This here is West Woodburn Station. Used to be an old railway line that goes underneath there. It was connected with the ironworks. This here is another footpath that goes through somebody's garden. There's the footpath sign there, and into the woods. Ignore the stile and just head straight down. This field down there is where we headed. An old gate post by the looks of it. Behind me is the Roman fort of Habitantium, located at Risingham near West Woodburn. And originally housed the 6th Legion and protected the bridge that took Deer Street over the River Reed. And it protected the supply line to the Antonine Wall in Scotland. The site is mostly covered in grass now, but it's still possible to work out where the buildings used to be, and now and again there's little bits of masonry. Although the Antonine Wall was abandoned in 162 AD, Habitantium remained occupied probably by the 4th cohort of Gauls. It was attacked and destroyed in 197 AD, but was rebuilt around 208 to 210 AD and housed by a 1,000 strong Vanjons, a cavalry unit that we encountered at Chesters in section 11. The fort was attacked and destroyed by Picts in 296 AD, rebuilt in 306 AD, and attacked and destroyed again shortly afterwards. The fort was then abandoned around 312 AD as part of a peace treaty with the northern tribes. Can't pass a pub, Neil.
So just a mineral water, just a mineral water.
We came to the Bay Horse Inn last time, at the end of the last section.
We had mineral water then as well.
Yeah, so
It's got minerals in it.
we're gonna have our lunch here.
Hello, hiya.
Come through the gate straight into a swamp. This section actually might be easier to have gone along the road. Be careful of bulls as well. We just had to leg it across that field. At first it was minding its own business, but then it spotted us and started running towards us, so I just had to run it. Behind me are the remains of Lowcloth's Bastile. It was built sometime between the 15th and 16th century, and it was abandoned in 1850. The walls are 4 foot thick, That's 1.2 to 1.4 meters. Very, very impressive. Definitely worth coming and have a look. There was once another bastel where that farm is, down there. You can see the remains of the Roman fort over there. Probably not get it on the camera. On top of that hill there, where those trees are, is an old Bronze Age burial site. The size of these rocks are huge. Must have took some building. And those are solid walls. 4 foot of solid wall. Very, very impressive. So apparently there's a bull in this field as well, according to Neil. Apparently it's behind the bastel. That's what Low Clock's bastel would have looked like. The path actually goes across this field, but over there where the gate is, there are cows with calves blocking the path. So we've just come down to the road, walk along the road past the cows. This here is Low Liam Farm. There was a bastel here built possibly around about 1602, and the walls were 1.2 meters thick. I'm not exactly sure which building was the old bastel though. Probably on the other side of these ones. weathering on here is amazing. They look like cup marks. So this here is the top of Hughes Crags and the views are just amazing. There's a Cheviot over there.
We're heading that way, aren't we?
Eventually, yeah. So you got the Cheviot over on that side. You might not pick it up with my camera. And you can see Crossfell over there. It's pretty amazing, like. You just have to try and work your own way off these crags. We're just heading down through this heather. Okay, when you get to the bottom, you need to head just left of that house over there, and then you should pick up the Pennine Way. It's extremely boggy on the bottom. It's tough going, but it's well worth it.
I don't want to go back about there. Green.
Oh, there's an adder. There's an adder, folks. Nearly stood on it. Very well camouflaged. I've just literally walked right next to it. That's the first adder I've ever seen. Wait, that's the first live adder I've ever seen. And you see the places I would usually walk. So it's a miracle I haven't seen one up until now. I have to be careful where I'm walking on there till we get to the Pennine Way. Probably more. Okay, this is the Pennine Way. We found it. That's looking back at the crags there. It's not too far a distance. Just saw the one snake. You alright, Neil?
Yeah, a bit freaked out. It looked like raw. You did look close and you saw like a little head on it, but it's. I'm glad we've seen it, but it makes you think how many more are in there. So be careful. I've got wellies on. Nick's got his gaiters. It's yeah. You all know how what's his name? Viking Lothbrook died.
Oh, aye. We'll be doing more about Vikings later on in the walk. Not today. So now we're on the Pennine Way. We just follow the Pennine Way all the way into Bellingham now. This is the last part of the walk. That's looking back at the crags. They don't seem very high from here, but they're high enough. Not as high as Great Wanny, but still high. There's our destination, Bellingham. That's the North Tyne Valley. You see the crags over there that we walked along? At least I think those are the crags we walked along. What a place, so beautiful. You need to do this section where there's some decent weather. It'll be miserable in the wet. This herd of young bullocks have just chased us across the field. Had to jump the wall. Seem to be calming down a bit now. I'll sneak around the side of them. When you come into the farm, it's not that direction, but it's that way. And on the reverse of this sign you can see. It's easily missed that. This spoil heap here is an old mine. Suppose I don't know much about it. Here ends section 15 of the Grand Tour of Northumberland in Bellingham. So Neil, what do you think of this one?
Well, it's certainly ended very well. Here we are in the Carriages train restaurant on the way to, well, Whitley Bay at the top there. The walk itself was really good. You're going to need a sunny day. Today for us it was sunny, but a bit windy. But the wind was really nice. There's a lot of hill work. It's nice to get that kind of bracing wind in your face. The crags were good fun, but be careful. We've been chased by cows 3 times, I think. We've had to run across the field, 2 or 3. We've encountered cows about 5 times, and as you probably know, like, cows are my enemy. So it was a bit of a sprint going on. I think my heart rate went up to about 190 at one point, and I overtook Nick. But he reassured me that, like, they'll probably kill us all if they do stampede. But yeah, I'd give it a 7 out of 10 for a walk on today. Oh, and here we are. We've got a bowl of mushroom soup. Thank you very much. Oh, cheers. He makes YouTube videos for hiking. Cheers. Well, like I said, it's ended very well here. So I don't know if you can see, we've got like a nice bowl of mushroom soup, followed by an eaten mess and a cappuccino. We've got some croutons and a nice bread bun. So yes, all very civilised, and yeah, it was a good walk today. And oh yeah, we saw an adder, which I think probably Nick was explaining earlier. So that freaked me out a little bit. So when we had to walk through the heather, so if you come this way, be careful, put your gaiters on, and like run through that field with stilts on. Yep, over and out. Yes, that was actually a really, really good walk, but you need to do it in the right weather. If you were to do it in the wet, that would be an absolute miserable walk. Some really good history at the beginning, then the scenery towards the end, up to the walk up to the crags. It's a bit of a slog going up that hill, but just turn around and just admire the scenery, because the scenery all the way was just absolutely stunning. Crags were brilliant. Absolutely love going on crags. They weren't as high as some of the ones we've been on in the past, but they were still pretty impressive. And the adder was a bonus. As I said, that was the first time I've seen an adder, a live one, that is. I saw a dead one when I was a kid, but so that was really good. I mean, considering the amount of moors for that walk on, for this to be the first time to see an adder, that's pretty amazing. And now we're in Bellingham in the carriage tea rooms, and they are very good, and I recommend coming here. So this walk for me was a 9 out of 10. I think this was probably the 3rd best section that we've been on so far. But once again, you have to do it in the right conditions. You can't do this in the wet. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment below, hit the subscribe button, share with your friends on social media and help my channel grow. And see you on the next one.
Music comes up till it's seen from my